In today's video, I'm going to show you how to draw the head in a two-point perspective. This is the method taught in the book by Andrew Loomis, Drawing the Head and Hands. And so this becomes a very effective way to help us not skew the face and to keep a sense of perspective in mind as we move through the process. So as you can see, I just used the two vanishing points, the left and right of this object, to draw out the prism. And I'm now adding a full flood fill of a blue over top set to screen mode. So anything beneath that turns blue, anything above that can now be the pencil layer. So here we start by drawing a circle, slicing off the sides, and then finding our center line. And the trick here is just to try to keep everything that you draw in relationship to the box-like prism. We're going to develop our 1/3. If you need this slowed down, I've got other videos where I teach this in more detail. And then the ear goes to the lower quadrant that we divided on the side of the head. The line from the ear down to the chin is representational of the zygomatic bone and the cheekbone. And then here I'm just illustrating what the 1/3 really tell us about the face. And that's the greatest thing about this book. I mean, there's a lot of great things inside of this book, but to me, the most influential portions were how it taught us to break things down proportionately and really find the common denominators of the head and face. And it gives you a sense of design and a really actionable way to proportionalize the face. So it gives you a lot more confidence at drawing a variety of faces, I think, even from your imagination. So all of this is just pieces of what you're going to find in that book. And now I'm going for the plane changes. Again, something else that I find to be insanely informative because it allows you to, well, do a variety of things. One of which is breaking things down by these plane changes gives you a very distinct idea of solid form. And again, thinking prospectively about the head and face. And also, when you go to shadow things, the plane changes make it a lot easier. I find that angles in and of themselves make designing and drawing parts of the body and the face just easier to process. It's almost like it changes your, what you're considering the study to be. Like you're thinking more design oriented versus so organically where you can kind of skew it more. So now we've got more of a structural based approach, and this is all subject to small iterations and changes. So as you draw this over and over again, you might notice that each time you do this, that maybe the ear is too far back. In fact, I kind of see that with this one. The jawline is pushed too far back and the ear is too far back. Also, the forehead probably feels a little bit too pushed forward. So to do that, to make the adjustment there, I would change the angle of the forehead or brow line back just a little bit, and then relate that to the other side. Likewise with the jawline, try some examples where I bring the ear division of that quadrant up a little bit further. So all of this is going to be maneuvered as you press forward. And the reason why I say that is I feel like this is a more rigid approach to drawing and designing the head, in which case you got to be careful because you don't want to lose the organic nature and the part that brings life to things like drawing the head. So now at this stage, a lot of that structure and foundational work is obviously applied, but I'm trying to now draw more organically. When you start to think about the eyes, obviously they're more organic, and all of the forms that we're going to overlay over top as we soft erase and redraw this need to be more organic. And so again, it's this balancing act, like everything is in art and life, that we want to utilize components of the structure and the design way of thinking to aid us in the process and allow us to sort of calculate and iterate on our ability to draw the head. But then at the same time, we have to know when to let go of that and draw with more fluidity, because that's going to allow us to have something that appeals to people more, right? It's more exciting to look at something that's drawn energetically. And that's generally why we can see an illustration where an artist does none of this, but we still admire it. We still see something that's super impressive and has a lot of life to it. But then when all things are considered and done well, I think it goes to a whole nother level. And again, that's why I always reference Andrew Loomis's book, because if you look at his breakdowns, they are done in a way where it makes a lot of sense. It's very repeatable, actionable type steps. But then you look at his renderings and they're just amazing. And I often wonder when I study from great artists like this, is it that they can draw because they think in these steps, or is it the other way around? They can show us these steps because they were already great artists. And I think a lot of artists probably have that thought at one time or another. But I like to think personally that because of those steps, we can all learn and get better. I've seen it in my own work, so I would say that's probably more the truth that I believe. But again, it's sort of hard when you see somebody or a variety of artists that do things so exceptionally well, not to just think that they are just miraculously talented, and because of that, it's easier for them to break down visual steps that may look like it's something that we can all follow. But again, that's for all of us to sort of see where we're at and what, which of these lessons really resonate with us and allow us to grow. But I think at first you do have to have an acceptance and sort of allow yourself to believe that you're capable of all of it. But again, it's really neat to see some of these actionable steps that are broken down in a way where it's like, wow, now I really see what the artist was saying or trying to say and get across in that. And it's great because it gives us this sense of enlightenment. And then all of a sudden our drawings come out a little bit better. Not void of flaws. That's going to take lots and lots of time to really zero in on those things. But we can always level up by learning from artists that are better. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I'd love to know what you think. Good luck with the art, and bye for now.